Let's jump over to the Breakfast Club. Had Larry Elder on, and Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Larry Elder.
Larry
I like
Elder.
that name. First
Larry caught a body.
Yeah.
He was killed Charlamagne.
Running laps around him.
Oh my God, it wasn't even close. It was this is a master class.
Masterclass.
It was a master class on spin artists being political, all that stuff. Like, man, it was crazy, bro. I ain't never seen. He was cooking them. Like,
if he didn't undermine his political relevancy, then he didn't really cook him. Because Charlamagne be acting like he's damn near a politician.
okay,
Like,
so
he's
do y'all
1 foot into
do y'all
the door.
remember a long time ago when I was like, Charlamagne be talking like he's into politics, but
Yeah.
have y'all ever seen? Is he really making political talk and waves and stuff like that?
I've seen him shake Joe Biden's hand. I think it was a picture.
Yeah,
That
but
nigga
that's
has 3 go-to moves in a political conversation.
You're okay. What's that?
I wasn't expecting to
Systemic.
name him on the spot.
But
Now I got to think of
how
him.
black people are systemically underrated. And
Yeah, undervalued.
yeah. Nah, underrated.
He talks
He'll use
about
that word.
he talks about that one fucking criminal bill that got signed
The
1,000
94 crime
years ago.
bill.
The 94 crime bill. That's
Yep.
one of them.
Yep.
And the war on drugs, and how it
Yeah.
deprived blacks and Mexicans of
Probably that,
Life.
and then anything Angela Rod does,
yeah.
So
or Tamika Mallory.
Larry, dang, what's his last name? What did I say?
Elder.
Elder.
Larry Elder is a black Republican, and he's been accused of being a Uncle Tom, House Nigga Coon, whatever you want to call him. He's been
That's what happens when you disagree with the masses of black people.
and that's when you and that's what happens when you also come out as a black Republican. It's just you can't avoid these things. So
It's a rite of passage.
yeah, he went up there and not this one. He came up there and
And I feel like, is there like a short YouTube video that we can watch on him? Like, did he come up with Farrakhan? You know what I mean? Like, who is
just like a
this
little
thing?
bio about him.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
what's the breakdown?
I like his name. His name is cool, Larry Elder, but like, who?
I don't know.
As far
that
as
would have to
singing-
look up because
He
I don't
sounds
know
like he might be from that OJ era of black people.
who is Larry Elder.
Like he was speaking up for OJ? He might have been going against OJ. He's a Republican.
He kind of just looks like OJ. I think that might have been why I said
He
that.
does kind of look like OJ. But see, he's running for president right now, so it's like going to be a lot of.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
so
we have
many.
to search this up on a separate time.
ChatGPT would have this answer. They would give us a breakdown.
Yeah.
So many people running for president.
But don't worry about this though. I wanted to pull up that first clip where this is the intro of the Larry Elder, and what Charlamagne kind of did wrong. This is the Charlamagne didn't butter him up clip.
He didn't butter him up.
That's how I named it.
Okay.
That's
This
not.
nigga's 71 years
okay.
old.
That's not the clip.
Where's he from?
Larry Elder, let me see.
Yeah, he's old.
Chicago. Let me
He's
guess.
from Los
He's
Angeles,
from Los
California.
Angeles.
Oh,
I don't see a Charlamagne didn't butter
I
him
see a
up clip.
Republican.
He went
Larry-
to Crenshaw High School.
Who else went there? Didn't that Snoop Dogg go there?
Did fucking Nipsey
right
Hussle
there.
go there?
Did he?
I'm asking.
It's
yeah.
right above that Reddit post you kicked. You clicked.
Is it a link?
No, it's a video.
Yeah, that video isn't popped into my thing. That's what I was saying earlier where I wanted to check.
Charlamagne didn't butter him up. Do you see that?
I see that, but there's no video underneath it. There's
Oh,
just
it's not?
there's just a
Yeah. This nigga's real name is Lawrence.
there's no video under it.
Lawrence Allen Elder is an American
I'll show
right-wing
you.
political commentator and conservative talk radio host. Elder hosts the Larry Elder Show based in California that began as a local program.
AJ.
So he's just into broadcasting
So
saying his political opinion.
I typed his
Yeah.
name on YouTube, and it's like an old thumbnail of this nigga in like obviously the 80s.
Holy shit,
when
that's
Steve
him?
Harvey
Bro.
mustache was in fashion.
AJ.
That's him.
I just sent it to you. Don't worry about that. I
Okay.
sent it to you. It's right there. Yeah.
I don't know. If I grew up in that era, I couldn't grow my mustache that thick. I don't see how they do that
What are you
shit.
talking about? That was like standard back then.
But I'm not able to do that.
Niggas with we obviously weren't eating what they was eating either. Though,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
they
saying?
had whole grains and organics.
Yeah. So okay, so this is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is the first like 3 minutes of the interview.
Okay.
He definitely lost the top of his head.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's first of all with a good 3. You know he can't go lower than a 2, but he's all right.
This nigga.
He's better off taking the fucking mustache hairs he used to have and just implanted them up top.
It's not that dark.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
I am.
What are the reasons, if your statistics are right, what are the reasons that you think fathers aren't in the home?
As I said, it's because in the mid-'60s, Lyndon Johnson launched what he called the War on Poverty. In Charlamagne, literally, they sent social workers door to door in the inner city. I remember this, advising women of the availability of welfare provided there was no man in the house. It created an economic incentive for women to marry the government. Same thing with whites. In 1965, 8% of whites entered the world without a father in the home, married to the mother. Now it's about 25%, also up threefold. Look at census data, 1910, 1920, 1930, in places like Milwaukee, Chicago, Philadelphia, a young black kid was slightly more likely to be brought into a world with a father in the home married to the mother than a young white kid. We have incentivized this kind of bad behavior, and it's had a disproportionately bad effect on the black community.
Let me ask you a question. What do white people do wrong?
Okay, hit pause.
Well, no, this is the favorite part. This is the
Yeah,
best part.
this is important.
Okay, go ahead.
People do. I'm not worried about white people. I'm worried about what's going on with us.
But if there's systemic racism in this country, which we know it is.
No, I don't say there is.
Okay, now you said Uncle Tom, but he seems like a proud black Republican.
He is. So let me just go ahead. I didn't get to set the standard what he's there doing. So he's running for president, right? And the main thing that he's pushing, in his term for presidency is he's pushing the black household. And in him pushing the black household, he wants to bring the nuclear family back.
I'm about to say
much.
the nuclear family.
The nuclear family. So that's what he said is his thing that he wants to talk to black people about.
He wants two parents, two kids, and a dog.
He essentially is taking Kevin Samuels' talking points, which is also smart because when you think about it, the Kevin Samuels talking point and the Andrew Tate thing is men being men, nuclear families, growing the black community. These are all YouTube hot button topics that Kevin Samuels and things like that were exploding off of. These are all technically conservative talking points, which is kind of genius that that's the path that he's going down. In terms of just like engaging that audience, right? Because
he's curated all the black conservative talking points and put them under the umbrella.
Yes,
because you never looked at Kevin Samuels as a conservative person,
exactly.
Even though he said some very strict shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting,
and even how he kind of like he kind of saved white people. He was like, there was even a time where being white meant that you could have been born without a father, even more than a black kid.
Yeah.
So he threw that in there, just for the white Republicans that are listening.
Yeah. So
he seems like an all-around good guy.
So now, remember like anytime we've seen academics just get niggas to just spill their beans and talk dirty, we watch him butter niggas up for about 30, 45 minutes, and then he just goes back to back with the hard-hitting questions. Charlamagne came out the gate 3 minutes in. It was like, so what's wrong with white people? And it's like, the issue with Charlamagne, I think, in this interview, and I think where he kind of fucked up, is he didn't warm him up. He didn't try to even sandwich his approach. He came in way too hot on trying to prove him wrong or make him look stupid to the audience, I think. And the issue was that because he came in so hot and didn't even try to concede or get with him on any points or even talk about what he was there for, he just said, yeah, we already agree with that. I'm not going to debate you on that. But what's wrong with black people? Like, what's up with white people? They didn't build any rapport before he started trying to roast them pretty much.
And I mean, you have to come in hot with like something more, I don't know, like better, like just more political.
Yeah.
I think, we all know Charlamagne is a good interview, but see, I think this is what happened. I think he got this girl whose name is, I can't remember.
Tessa Figueroa or some shit.
Tessa Figueroa, who
Jesus.
she was the worst, bro.
Bitch last name.
I think she had and I think she had a battery in his back. He was like, I'm about to get my dog on this, and she's about to roast this nigga, and we about to tag team. And they ended up becoming an embarrassing duo together, essentially trying to get this nigga Larry, because this nigga Larry never lost his cool one time. And he literally he bounced back every time. He struck back every time.
He's been doing this too long.
He was cooking these niggas, bro. It was a cook fest. Like shit was.
It was a showcase.
It was a showcase.
I feel like Charlamagne's question wasn't actually that bad. I think the rapport that you're saying he lacked what he was trying to build by breaking the ice. He knows that as a black conservative, this nigga has opinions on like the black State of the Union. We know we're gonna get to that shit. What's like a little softball shit to melt the ice in here? What's wrong with white people? We hear you talk about niggas all the time.
No, that's
and
not.
I think a part of it is that Larry, his energy was kind of like, he's not there to play.
But he's not. But then on top of that, you
But you
can't
at the
break.
Breakfast Club, nigga.
But you can't break the ice with me when I've already been called a Uncle Tom, right?
By them.
By black people, not by them, but just like by the masses.
So-
and then you also can't break the ice with me when pretty much one of the common things apparently with this dude Larry is he's always saying what's wrong with black people and he's never saying what's wrong with white people.
Yeah.
So it's like that's already the common thing. You got to warm up to that then. You can't just jump out the window with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to cover what he's there for first,
But
which they weren't trying to cover that at all.
Yeah.
They were only there to try to get him to go in on white people because he never seems to do it.
Yeah.
But it's give and take. You
Felt
can't
like
just
an agenda
but-
interview.
Yeah, that,
yeah, you can, it was a straight agenda. It
But
was
it
all
is
take.
Good.
He even said like, nigga, I don't care about white people. I care about black people. I'm trying to fix black problems.
Exactly.
So it's like, he's trying to help black people.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So,
of course he's only gonna say, things that might hurt some black people's feelings, but they're trying to he's trying to be constructive.
right.
And what you're saying is true, but I feel like he's making the Breakfast Club and maybe Charlamagne specifically like the poster child for all black people that disagree with him.
Yeah, but he damn sure they didn't help.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
They damn sure didn't help
I give you
because
that.
I'm about to show you next this Tesla Fig chick.
And is Charlamagne a Democrat?
Well, what happened was he's independent.
Yeah.
But
He's a free thinker.
I feel like he's Democrat.
But the way he was conducting himself in this interview was all Democratic energy, though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And she definitely was coming from Democratic energy, even though they both like to say throughout the interview when they were getting cooked alive, well, I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. Yeah, but you ain't here with a fucking Democratic agenda, so let's get it cracking. You know,
Yeah.
that's the energy Larry took with him. You know what I'm saying?
And overall, because Joe Biden, I think he said that on $1 Million Worth of Game.
Yeah.
He doesn't like seeing Charlamagne Tha God in this political space. Because like
Who said that?
So Joe Budden.
Oh, okay.
He said it on $1
okay.
Million Worth of Game because it seems that all it takes is for a nigga to confidently say some statistics that like Charlamagne isn't gonna be as well researched as a political candidate about a bill that got passed in 1910.
I was just
So when you say some
Yeah.
shit like that very confidently and very fast, it's like I don't want to argue with you on that because I don't know if that's credible.
you might
Right.
look stupid just trying to argue with him on a fact that's a fact.
Yeah,
And I
it's
was
different argument Andrew Schultz on facts.
I noticed
Yeah.
that he said like 4 facts in a row, like 8 different
About
years,
21%.
Like,
But
yeah,
that's how these
so many numbers.
that's how these politicians are. That's literally how they
pundits and
operate, which is really confusing because this is why I was bringing up the whole Charlamagne and policy things. I'm like, okay, he wants to transition into it, right? But it didn't seem like he was getting better to me at political talk. And mind you, I'm not a nigga that's like tuning in to hear these niggas. I'm not tuning into Fox, CNN to hear about politics on a regular basis. But I know what I'm listening to in terms of like cadence, and I know there's a lot of dates, facts. I know there's a lot, I know what that. I know there's a certain rhythm that they speak in. There's a certain art to how well they curve shit all the time. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of confidence in the approach.
Yeah, so it's like it's funny that like I thought Charlamagne was like the way he was talking about. You say I'm in this political space and I'm really having issues. I was like, damn, this nigga out here cooking political niggas and I didn't know. And then I'm like, watching this, I'm like, nigga, what have you been training for?
Yeah, where is that at?
You know what I'm saying? Like I thought this nigga was. So that's why I don't know, man. And at the same time, jumping into political, bro, these people be 70 years old. These niggas are more than battle tested. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just.
You can't pull that one trick pony.
I don't
shit.
even know if 5 years is enough to be able to debate
no.
with some of these lifetime
No,
politicians.
this nigga is a black conservative.
He's gotta be better.
For 71 years, he's been trying to plead his case to black people. This
Yeah,
is nothing.
bro.
He's done this
Yes.
a billion times.
Yeah, bro, you have to be better than everybody else as a black conservative. You know
And
what I'm
he's
saying?
probably done it against like Martin Luther King or his
the
old
best
ass.
of the best.
Like,
No, dead ass though. Yeah,
Malcolm
yeah.
X, nigga.
So-
Huey P.
So we're about to watch Charlamagne and his partner lose, and we're about to just.
And is DJ Envy here?
Oh, he's there, but
Yeah,
He's just thinking about them.
you know, he stays.
charges.
You know, he knows when to mind his business.
It's
You know
crazy.
what
I
I'm saying?
barely saw that.
But yeah, let's see this.
Then Donald Trump is being treated. Yes, I do. Is that an indictment about whether or not America is systemically racist? No, it is not. Those are
They're two totally different things.
Yes,
you're
yes, they
trying
are.
to merge the two, but they're two totally different things.
I agree with you. They're
But
two
it is
different
still the
things.
system.
No,
It is
no,
still-
we're
it is still
agreeing.
the
We're
system.
agreeing. They're two different things.
He
We're
ain't even
agreeing.
No,
looking
we're
at it
agreeing
for
to two different things. We're not agreeing that there's not systematic racism because we're not in charge of the system, sir. In case you
Okay,
unfamiliar
all right,
about
all right.
the
Can we-
system.
can we-
Black
can-
people
can-
have never been in charge of any system.
Well,
we're not
actually, we have been. Take Baltimore.
No, we've never been in charge of
May I
any
finish?
system. Tell me, what financial system are black people in
Okay,
charge of?
let's
What
take-
healthcare system are black people in charge of? What government system are black people in
I'm
charge of?
about ready to tell
what
you.
prison system are
I'm
black people in
about
charge?
ready to tell you.
I'm not talking about mayors. I already know that talking point, sir. I go on Fox News all the time as well. So let's not go there with that. I said, what system have we created?
Goodness.
Have we implemented that we have been in charge of?
Exactly. Yes.
This why you don't like talking to black women, Larry Elder?
Wow.
See, that's a great joke. but he's
Baltimore.
not a good sport.
Freddie Gray
It's
a
like,
few
wow.
years
No.
ago.
That's mayors. I'm not talking. I said system.
I'm
Remember,
going to
like
tell
the
you
word
about
system.
this system if you allow me to finish my point.
I'm not talking about somebody elected and doing a job, sir. I asked what system did we create? What
Okay,
financial
Okay, let's
system
talk
did we
about the
create?
system of one of the largest.
No.
Thank you. One of the systems
I
of
put
one of the
several moments of her doing this just so that y'all
Yeah,
can
it's
see
trash.
She's killing me
what was
right now.
happening. What
Like,
was happening.
She's asking the question, and when he's answering it, she's
not
asking the
she's
question.
not shutting the fuck up and letting it happen.
You can tell that she's used to
Yeah.
over talking niggas on Zoom
Well, this is
interviews
the
on
problem.
Fox
It's just
News.
weak, bro. It's killing me when I was watching that shit.
This is what happens when, and this is the thing.
Who
like,
is that?
I don't know.
She's been on that show the whole time.
Tamika
recently.
Wallace. I'm
And
just
this is-
guessing.
and
her
that's the
name.
thing that's like-
That's probably who that is too.
And that's the thing too. That's funny. It's like she low key was like representing what niggas are trying to avoid. Like
It's everything about it. Look, she's
combative as
she's
fuck.
being the stereotypical belligerent black
woman?
queen.
That's exactly what she's doing.
And it's crazy that Charlamagne would even allow this to happen, to allow a black queen to look this.
I think he thought
fucking
this was a
crazy.
good idea.
I think he thinks that's a good look for her.
I think he thought that's the craziest part. I think.
Yeah.
I think he, because out of all these people that he knows,
Charlamagne.
he called her.
I think he thinks
Charlamagne
it's good content.
sets-
No, she's always on the show now.
Is
today.
she? Oh, she's
she
like,
does like the rumor report, all the other
she's
shit.
here
in the
for
back
this
there.
week or
Does
something
she
like
ever
this.
be there
Nah,
physically?
she be there all the time. No, via Zoom. She
She's
be there all the
always-
time. Like
okay.
she got it in her bio on Instagram.
I feel like
This whole Zoom thing at the Breakfast Club is ghetto as fuck.
Yeah.
It's just like going back to the whole the money don't look like
she's
it's
on the
there
Black
no more.
Effect
Nah.
too. She's on the Black Effect podcast network too.
Zoom isn't ghetto. Her shitty green screen is. Let's be
Yeah.
specific.
Okay.
But it's. I feel like he's setting her up for failure because he's not guiding her through the questions.
You gotta
You know
remember,
what I mean?
he thinks
Like
it's content.
You get.
Maybe.
I don't know how much did he prepare for this. I feel like because I watched
Honestly,
him interview other politicians and it's like
Yeah, I watched this entire thing, and it seems like I think they thought they were going to be able to run through this nigga. That's what I think. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I think they did research, but I think they thought this nigga was going to roll over and play dead, and Larry came to play. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
they saw that he looked like O.J. Simpson and assumed that he had the same sensibilities.
Yeah, and the thing
Yeah.
is, it's like
I mean, look at the nigga posture. It seems, you know,
he's dead ass serious.
he has
Niggas
a
ain't-
mean golf stroke.
Bro,
you could
niggas
tell.
ain't running for president. Niggas ain't running for president playing around at the when they get on that microphone.
No,
You know what
at
I'm saying?
all,
Like,
nigga.
it's
Yeah.
like these
Bro,
niggas are not playing around,
They're
bro.
prepared for the presidential debate.
Yes, like
Yeah.
I have to be presidential in every moment, and in terms of dealing with my own people, and on top of that, they bombed so bad. I know they converted people to his side. I know they did, bro. I know they did because when he's talking about fixing the black household and stuff like that, she was kind of being a strong representation of what people don't want to deal with anymore. And
Said it anymore.
yeah, I
Like
mean-
this is what niggas wanted
In the first
Yeah.
place.
in
I
the
mean-
first place.
essentially, well, yeah, okay,
They
that's
might
true.
not have known
I
what they
mean-
signed up for.
Tyrese and Baby Boy, he just didn't even know what he was doing for
Well,
it.
and,
he was
on
nothing
top of
and
that, a lot of
everything.
niggas, a lot of niggas don't even know there's peace outside of certain stereotypes.
Niggas-
you know
I
what
thought
I'm
you were about to say outside of black women. I was about to
saying?
say,
No,
good
outside
God.
of certain stereotypes.
Yeah.
it could be black, white, whatever. But yeah, this attitude is not just encompassing a black woman. I found this attitude in several races.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of them are. I've seen this in a lot of black women. I would say. You know what I'm saying?
It's just strong, and you know he's trying. He's he's trying to be the president, so he can't just be like, ma'am,
Yeah.
bitch, but
Literally.
he has to be like,
but you heard him,
please,
no, he said,
please,
Let me do this.
He said,
you know what I mean?
But he said, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
What-
This
did
nigga's
he say
good.
Jesus or my goodness?
Yeah, he
My
said,
goodness.
My goodness.
Even a president can't tell a black woman an opinion she don't already agree with.
The only time she would stop was when Charlamagne would say, okay, let him finish.
Yeah.
And it was like, damn, you couldn't tell her to calm down the first 30 minutes. Like he let her cook herself for an hour and a half.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, she asked that question so many times. I'm ready to see what financial institutes that black people are in charge of.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, yeah,
What's the
yeah.
answer to this question?
And she's asking this so many times that it's like, bitch, I can't even think of an answer because I'm trying to think to tell you to shut the fuck up before I can even process my answer. It's
But
crazy.
let's just listen or watch a couple compilations. This is more of just her.
Yeah, play from where. Like, I want to hear
I
what
went
his
back a
answer
little bit
is.
already. Yeah, I went a little bit back. I'll go back one more, but all right.
Baltimore. Freddie Gray a few years ago.
No. That's mayors. I'm not talking. I said system.
I'm
Remember,
going to
like
tell
the
you
word
about
system.
this system if you allow me to finish my point.
I'm not talking about somebody elected and doing a job, sir. I asked what system did we create? What financial
Okay, let's
system
talk
did we
about the
create?
system of one of the
let him-
largest.
let him say his
Thank
point,
you.
man.
One of the systems of one of the largest cities in America, Baltimore. Freddie Gray died in police custody a few years ago. The mayor was black. The head of the police department was black. Number two.
It's not in charge of the system, but go ahead.
Number two person in charge of the police department was black. All
Still
of,
not in
all,
charge of the
all of
system.
city council, Democrats, majority black.
Still not in charge of the system.
Wow.
That's a position.
6 officers charged, 3 of them were black. A judge before whom 2 of the officers tried their case found him not guilty was black.
Still not in charge of the system.
The city intendant of public schools was black. The county superintendent of public schools is black. The attorney general at the time, Loretta Lynch, is black, as was the president of the United States, was black. And
He's
yet,
Still not in charge of the
Pause.
system.
Who's in
I
charge
asked
of
you
the
a simple
system?
question, sir.
well, Wanda Sykes said when Barack Obama got elected, how are you going to complain about the man when you are the man? Now, from the president to the attorney general to the state attorney to the mayor to the head of the police department to the commission of the schools.
He's oh my God, politicians. What the fuck?
Yeah, so
But
pretty much, yeah.
The
yeah.
nigga, I get what he's saying, but she's right. Like, he did not say what system we created. And even then, like, we was talking about this earlier.
That's what politicians do.
But she's right.
Yeah.
But even then, like, he's perfect for the president because he thinks that him presiding as a position, because we was talking about this, the word president derives from the word presiding.
Right.
You're not in power. You're just presiding as
the power.
You're
as a
temporarily
nigga.
reigning.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And he has that energy. Like, he thinks that being in a position truly means something.
There's power that comes with presidency, though.
I do understand his point. Her question was, what financial system or institute are we in charge of, do we own? And he proceeded to say, bitch, we own the local government in this state.
What some
Which
of his
isn't
point,
the same thing that's the
What a
same.
lot of his point was, from my understanding, is that systematic racism and all that stuff is not as what it used to be. Because to look at all these people in power that are black.
It sounds like it's not dismissive, but he could have answered it a little bit better. It's like, you know,
Shit, I feel like I could have answered that better. Killer Mike got a bank.
Pretty much what I think what it comes down
backed
to
by
is,
white people, probably.
I think what it comes down to as well too is that like her answer was kind of like he's highlighting black people in positions even though the system was established by white, and nobody's ever that's never going to be able to change. The system inherently is always going to be established by white.
Isn't English established by white people?
But
yeah,
what's
so it's
happening?
like,
What the fuck? We can't get around it. Shit.
Yeah, so it's like the question she's asking. There's none, but then he's just saying, yeah, but there's black playmakers within the system that were already created. Obviously, and he's pretty much. I think he's one of them black people that. Obviously, we had bad conditions. We were race. There was Jim Crow. You know, all these things where we were held down. But he's one of those black people that's like, but what are you gonna do now about it?
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of black people hate those type of niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Which I don't understand the hate for that perspective.
So many black people hate that shit.
It's hard to answer that question in general.
Yeah.
Because it's like when I asked you who's the baddest bitch you seen in Dominican Republic, and it's like, nigga, my girl is finna watch.
Yeah.
And so it's like she's asking, what systems have we created? Bitch, I'm about to be president. I'm about to be around these niggas.
Right.
I can't just shit on the system that I'm about to be a part of.
Right, exactly.
So it's a hard question to even bounce
get it
around.
To,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
yeah. And there's other ones in there as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch underneath the math joint, the math
Larry
section.
Elder.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
And that Brilliant Idiot
He's
joint,
definitely
too.
son of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, go ahead, click the whatever one comes next.
He could have been a little bit
Oh,
flyer.
well, let's watch let's watch this when he finally got sick of this shit. And this is one moment in, and he was already dealing with this for an hour.
Oh God.
And
He's
then,
like, this is why I don't like black people.
this might not be it,
Yeah.
actually.
He's
Oh,
gonna
no?
double down.
It's 11 seconds.
Is this the nigga? I don't think this is the nigga wake up call.
Nah, it's not nigga way up.
Nah, this is Charlamagne just reading off fucking talking points. Sound like he just got programmed by the Republican boss. That shit.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, that shit was sick, bro. Yeah,
Y'all want to see
let's-
this too?
Yeah, fuck it. It's
all
11
right.
seconds.
All right.
Yeah, but it's not just election denying. It's the disdain of women and fear of non-standard gender identities and sexual orientation.
Disdain
it's
for
the
women.
galvanizing of popular rage against cultural elites. It's nationalism based on dominant.
You were just talking about that.
What is he reading?
the
Did you
fuck?
see his face? What is he
He's
reading?
reading the bio on
Yeah, but
Peter's
it's not just
website.
election
Yeah.
denying. It's the disdain.
He's reading the script.
Yeah.
You were just talking about that. You were just saying how he's pretty much just gonna hit a bunch of straight facts that he's like getting from something.
Yeah, and his
But the problem is
those ones
like,
isn't even fact. Those was like state.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Andrew Schultz talk to this guy.
Yeah. The problem is though
Yo, they're probably gonna think we think Andrew Schultz is the greatest podcaster of all time.
probably because he was in so many of our things.
Nigga, you.
Yeah, nah, but even on the other episode when we was doing the shit at the end, we was picking a podcast lineup.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
put Andrew in everything.
But that, if y'all saw that lineup, it's really only a couple people to choose.
man,
you know what I
it
mean?
wasn't many, yeah.
Especially if you're trying to make a good show. Like,
You want to taste good.
but
you need some
Andrew
good ingredients.
interviewing him, it depends on
Talking to him.
if Andrew doesn't, if he just chills on the jokes a little bit, if he doesn't just,
Which I think if Andrew's by himself and he's not with Mark and Akash and all them
Yes.
niggas, like on that one episode when he was debating Tariq Nasheed, that shit was incredibly entertaining.
I need to watch that again,
In
bro.
the
'cause
full
it's been
Like,
cast.
that's how good it is. You can watch that again. I probably
Yeah, I
seen
need
it
to watch it again.
okay, in the full cast, it didn't have the full cast.
Charlamagne was in another room with Gary Vee for like the first 40 minutes of the interview, and then he came in and like they continued the conversation. But like with just Andrew
the
and
actual
Tariq, that
YouTube
shit was
video.
hard.
And I think that's
Oh, not the
probably
top one?
what's
Okay.
needed. Because Andrew is a good interview. He's a good talker.
And it's like I feel like he's more.
He's a good
But you
talker.
know what I
He's a-
mean by when
he's
you
a good
say
talker.
like
Yeah,
can't be
he's-
fucking bad.
Yeah, he's a good talker, but he's a decent interviewer, I would say.
He's a decent interview,
Yeah.
but in terms of debating, especially when it comes to facts and like.
He's
like,
good in terms of that, yeah.
Like you could tell Charlamagne a bunch of facts, and if he thinks that you're credible, he'll probably just believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
see
just-
what you're
But
saying.
Andrew Schultz will argue how they fucking took the data for the
Would you
facts.
think he'd be better at that if this is what he wants to transition into in like his new arc? And it's like
Who?
No, it's a transition.
Charlamagne, like you would think that he would know more about these. If this is the arc that he
know.
plans on doing,
between when, like doing the Brilliant Idiot show, like doing some other Black Effect shit.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what his like political nighttime show is normally. You know what I'm saying? It's that policy.
Yeah. And I don't think we're taking into account how
not
long
showing.
it takes
Oh, okay.
to become truly politically savvy.
Yeah.
To have a debate about it that's still entertaining and challenging
I
to the
think it
person
takes
you're
30
talking
years. I think it definitely takes
to.
about
At
30
least,
years.
like you gotta
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
so many dynamics and patterns in the
Yeah.
political system to where it's just like, nigga, it's almost like if you haven't been following sports enough your whole life to know who was in the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals
Yeah.
and who had the most turnovers, nigga, don't go to ESPN.
Yeah, that's a fact though.
Unless
yeah,
you just go out loud and out funny everybody,
You're too late.
yeah,
Too late.
It's gone, nigga. There's so much history that you got to catch up on.
check the comments, see if they have it in there.
Okay. It's not in the clips in the notes?
No, the nigga wake up call's not in the clips.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost positive it's not.
He definitely not dressing like he's trying to be the president though.
Yeah, nah, that's a little lackluster
I don't
in
like
terms
that.
of the garments.
Especially, the last black president being so fucking fly.
Fly as a bitch. I feel like presidential isn't red. What's the more presidential tie, the red or the blue?
Probably the
red tie.
Well, it depends on what party.
Party you
Depends
are.
on what side you are.
depends on your
Yeah.
party.
I ain't never seen a nigga wear a blue tie though that I can remember.
Republicans always wear red.
A dark
and
navy.
Democrats wear blue or dark navy.
Dark navy,
Yeah.
okay.
It's rare when they put a red tie on, but everybody does an American flag pin.
But that red tie, I ain't gonna lie, it does look a little bit more presidential.
And that's
It does.
There's
really,
something
Sure.
about the red that just pops
it's-
more. It's more
yeah, for
patriotic.
sure.
but that's
sure.
really Donald Trump's whole wave. The red,
Red
tie.
hats.
That is definitely his
Does
way.
Donald Trump wears the
Every
he
day.
popularized that
Yeah, he
red
did.
tie?
He damn sure did. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
He's a marketing genius.
Which is weird to even know that he's like, to even think that he's popularizing some sort of like fashion statement. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas a
We
diva.
might be able to just watch the academics clip, honestly.
Yeah, you type in
that's what I was
Donald
thinking
Trump,
about
a
that,
red
too.
tie pops up.
Immediately, right?
It's like,
He got a blue one on right there, but the first one is red.
You know, it's,
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of fucking red.
Yeah, it's all red.
Yeah, nigga fly.
Yeah, let's watch this academics joint.
Yeah, he just started
like
too.
you sound like Larry Elder, nigga.
You're right.
Donald Trump fly.
Yeah.
Until they don't. This is what this exchange was.
Have you ever heard of the term nigga wake up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism.
This
Have you
your
ever had
brother.
any of
Oh,
those?
brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever
Well,
had one of
I'm
those?
acutely aware, Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things.
Get
Like
Well,
that.
defensive.
What I did say.
Well,
to him
you
was
just not
it's
talk about a nigger wake-up call, and it seemed to me that
Pause,
that should have been a
real
wake-up call
quick.
on your part to have a white
Even
guy.
more so than pause. Can we rewind 5 seconds? Because I feel like
Why?
there was
What's-
a
what-
ER at the end of that nigga.
Oh,
There
okay.
was.
That,
it was
a
kind of.
nigga wake
A
up call.
nigger
Yeah.
wake up call.
Yeah.
It's like he said nigga and then he said nigger. It's like
Yeah.
he couldn't help it.
Yeah.
We gonna have to bleep this?
No, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I
We'll be
forgot
all
I'm a
right.
nigger.
Yeah,
So why are you tripping about him?
you remember? Look, do you remember that Dave Chappelle story?
The same
I can
reason-
use that, but you can't use the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
And the same reason that you tripped out about the Hodge twins. Because it's a joke that the Hodge twins will make that we might reasonably make, but it's the intent. It's the angle that they're shooting from.
And he's from LA. They have a little twang. You know they don't say
It's
everything
like
right.
like their slang is like I feel like they talk more proper in their slang.
The nigga said
LA.
the word acute. So a nigga that says that is like, I have an acute ability to
Yeah.
and read the map.
All right, let's watch.
I mean, that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like
Well,
that. But what I did say.
well,
to him
you
was
just not
it's
talk about a nigger wake-up call, and it seemed to me that that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney. Because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seemed to me that should have been a nigga wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what
parties
you are. I never even
hell.
asked you about
He
your party
wants-
affiliation.
Yeah, I
I'm
think-
just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you you have to say, think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black? Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black people, black men, as I said,
All right,
voted for
can you
Donald
pause real
Trump
quick?
in 2020. Are they not?
Here we go with the stats. But to defend Charlamagne,
that is so what they do.
That is what
to
they
defend Charlamagne, you know, he's just trying to be at Joe Biden's goodbye party. You feel me? Like he's just
Yeah.
trying to set that up. You know how Charlamagne be.
I think even
Niggas
a little
corporate.
bit. I think even a little more so in defense of him. It's like in the moment, it might have been perceived as just a little joke. Like it just is like I'm trying to be cool with these cool black people. And Charlamagne's mind, he might have been like, this is just like a little slight
Talking about
joke.
what Joe Biden-
What Joe Biden said.
And
Yeah.
how, like, yeah, now thinking about what can you do? Like, what the fuck,
what
Joe?
do you do? Yeah.
Nah, nigga, this is about to be
Call me a
like
nigga?
just because he wasn't the president then doesn't mean he was less important. He was still Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So it's
that's
like,
the thing.
and it's bigger than Charlamagne. Like Charlamagne's boss would have been like, Charlamagne, you better not fuck. Like he has to come back.
Well, it's just the irony of it all, right?
Yeah.
Because this guy is known for being he's being the title of being a coon or a Uncle Tom or a black puppet for Republicans has been placed on him by mostly black people. And then now you got this dude, this black dude, and this black woman who just tried to tag team me that I've been bodying for the last hour. Now you're going to slide in at the end like, if you know what a nigga wake up call is, and then let me tell you, it's when a nigga realizes he's finally black, like you've been winning this whole time. You know what I'm saying?
How do we know how Candace Owens feels about him? Because I feel like that might push me in towards wherever direction she feels. I might just agree with her. Candace Owens just seems like a righteous bitch.
No, that is a good point because Candace is gonna give it to you raw,
especially on some black Republican shit.
Because Candace might cook this nigga. You know what I'm saying? She might straight cook this nigga like, but. I think we could all I think everybody's gonna give him his flowers on this because he was cooking the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
But overall, because I don't know anything about this nigga outside of this interview, literally.
Yeah, no, nothing.
But so he might be just doing straight fuck shit outside of this. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you in this interview, Seaton represented himself pretty damn well.
And when we say cook the Breakfast Club, he's talking to one person. Like
he's talking to two, Charlamagne and whoever the chick is,
and Envy too.
DJ Envy is not there.
DJ Envy legit chimed in.
Not literally. Like he's there, but he isn't here.
And Envy legit chimed in, I think 3 times the entire hour in like 15 minutes, hour
that
20.
That nigga has a bigger case ahead of him.
And then he did the. It's like they were all getting so sassy with this nigga.
They were. He had
it's
a
like
moment
it's like nobody can maintain their emotions, and that's one of the biggest things too, bro. In terms of just like policies and shit like that, which is why I'd be so unmotivated to get into like, or even like. That's why I can never understand people who like base their entire life off their party, right? Because when you be seeing these niggas like arguing shit, I'm like, it's a bunch of niggas in their feelings, bro. Like niggas just bickering, and it's just
niggas like sports fans.
Yeah, bro.
My team is better than yours.
Exactly, bro. And it's like this has nothing to do with what's actually getting done at this point.
And just like sports fans, a lot of the times, like what you like in a team isn't your fault; it's your father's fault. So it's like whoever Charlamagne's daddy, who I believe is a white, maybe dyke. You know, his boss. You know what I mean? Who's the Democrat?
I thought you meant his actual father.
Right,
who's the Democrat?
Say, how the fuck did a white dyke have a black have a Charlamagne Tha God? But I get you.
That
Who's
might
the
have been his
Democrat?
immaculate conception.
Who's the Democrat was probably like, yo, like give it to him. You know what I'm saying?
On top of that,
that's all
like,
it takes.
And then it's like, yo, bro, you can't like once you start getting cooked, you can't towards the end, you can't just be like, well, I'm independent, I'm not a Democrat, nigga. You coming from like you can't come from such a hard position.
Your opinion had you just a little bit, and everybody felt it, nigga. You're not surprising nobody.
Yeah, bro.
He kind of didn't have an opinion. He didn't have an actual answer for like what he was thinking in that moment.
He thought he
didn't
had
say
something clever enough to say that would stir up some clicks.
Yeah, I feel you. Like it's just, he had general statements.
Yeah,
that was just made for this, which I guess he did. I mean, hey, this might have been his plan. He was like, I'm gonna look stupid so he can make himself
but
look
I'm
smart.
also gonna sacrifice my homegirl too. Like,
well, he probably was like, she's gonna do that anyway.
It feels like
she's gonna do what she did.
she gonna do this shit to herself anyway.
Belligerence.
It feels like she logged off. Did she stay the whole time?
She stayed the whole time. Yeah,
but
she
knows
made,
when to be quiet.
She made sure to get her.
Not
No,
really.
she doesn't. She made sure to get her shots even out the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like she consistently had to be right.
So that nigga chair was turning. She swung.
She just had to be right.
None of that sounded like
crazy.
they wanted to have a conversation.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a forced interview.
Yeah, it sounded like they all did
Right.
like homework on him, but it was like
They tried to jump him.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I
Yeah.
hated when he said this. Oh, this, you know what I'm saying? They try to jump
It
on
might
that.
be a case to where they don't want to be seen as just a locker room for the one specific party. So they kind of have to talk to everybody, but they really don't want to talk to everybody.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's not
a whole
exactly.
fact.
Yeah, nah.
Yo, and then on top of that too, but yeah, that's about it on that because I think we've kind of been going in on this for a while.